was supposed to have a slideshow. Actually, I only had one photo of the slideshow. It was on the skateboard, so I'm going to use a little better later. So, slideshow.
Hey. So you're a skateboarding activist.
Yeah.
And you are going to be talking to us about the state of skateboarding. But like, when did you first get on the board?
The skateboarding activist thing seems to be pretty broad. I'm a skateboarder and I want to change something, so I'm active doing it. So I suppose that makes me an activist. I started skating when I was about 6 years old. Stopped skating when I got to, I think, early teens or something. Yeah. When everybody told you that skateboarding was a white sport, you kind of need to stop. You didn't go well with your white T-bars. So you stop. I got back into skateboarding much later. So late teens, I got back into skateboarding, lifted, and then I actually found skateboarding and a new understanding of skateboarding. Actually through a friend of mine, Ken Lingerfeld actually. And after coming back to skateboarding and seeing how the industry and how the community changed, even how the board designs have changed, I was starting to find what I had lost when I was younger, which is bigger wheels, free flowing, less tech, and I found something like this. This is actually what I asked him for, but he didn't make this for me. But yeah, so he got me back into just feeling the flow of skateboarding. Yeah, and I studied town planning, and I was moving through the city and I was using my skateboard, and the understanding of urban environments and how skateboarding had connected with it kind of sparked a different understanding as to why I was skateboarding. So it was movement, it was more than just a hobby, it was more than a sport, it was actually a form of expression.
Because I mean, I know I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to skateboarding, and it's either you skate as a sport or you skate because you're like a rebel child who wears like really big shoes. But like, why did you? Because you speak about actually coming back into skateboarding. Like, what is it about being on the board?
So I always ask this to we skate with a lot of kids and always meeting like more kids and always asking what makes you want to skate, what keeps you skateboarding, right? And the one thing that actually kind of the word that kind of resonates amongst all the kids and amongst all skateboarders, whether you're professional or whether you're just about starting out, is about the freedom of it. So there's a good feeling of being free. And I think in hard spaces and in so many boxed sports and training and all these other kind of things, a lot of kids are looking for a form of expression. So skateboarding it's a tool for that. Whether you're an artist, you're a musician, or whatever, it normally gets associated, but I mean, skateboarding is just it's a tool for expressing what you do. So freedom is what brought me back into it. I was looking for that again. I had gone through my teens, and if you were a colored kid in Cape Town, you jolly your hair with spikes, and you wear white Levi's and Spragos. Yeah, and so it wasn't the big shoes and punk rock and the baggy jeans, and because I had perceived that to be a skateboarder, I had removed myself from that identity. So that's how I actually saw myself. So it was about, I got so much gratitude for that, for kind of reintroducing it. So you don't need to be that to be a skateboarder. It's an activity, and I'm my own person. I don't like skinny jeans, but it's close enough. So yeah.
So from freedom to activism, how this is obviously your form of expression. What did you find that you wanted to change within just regular day-to-day lives out in the street, or people's view of the skateboarding culture? to actually get you to being active?
Not a lot of people know this, but actually skateboarding in Cape Town and generally in South Africa, it's illegal. So we're all criminals if you skateboard. Your 5-year-old brother and 10-year-old cousins all skate. They're all criminals and they're subject to a 300 rand fine and possible imprisonment. Yeah. That's one of the things that's driven this whole activist kind of vibe. Was about how people perceive you and how people are prejudiced towards you and how that prejudice informs policy, regulation, and law. Yeah. So and we kind of know about this in South Africa. It's prejudice and legislation, right? The other thing was about how I perceive myself about it. So when I got back into skateboarding, there was a realization about who I am and activity, and I kind of wanted to tell other skaters how they should kind of find freedom in skateboarding and not be dictated. Whether it was people or monster telling you that a skateboard needs to be this way and whatever, you kind of need to define it yourself. And then the activism part was telling the state or changing legislation is a big thing. Changing policy means that we're no longer criminals, there's infrastructure, there's acceptance, there's embracing. And it is a bit counterculture, but it means making skateboarding something I love more accessible to other people so they can fall in love with this.
Questions to the floor?
No, it's the deep, right?
Yes.
I'm interested in how the process is going. So are we any close to making it legal to skate on the streets?
We're actually really close.
Oh.
So this thing that started, or actually a bunch of us started something called the National Skate Collective. It was a vehicle for changing this piece of legislation. So that was the purpose, one of the core objectives was changing the legislation, right? And then it was changing this bylaw that was reintroduced in 2007 by J.P. Smith, saying that we're criminals along with people that shoot bow and arrows in the streets.
What?
So we're nuisances. It took us 4 years to do this. So 4 years of not just knocking on the city's door and everyone welcoming us into the city. It took us lobbying, so we lobbied, we created events, we created Facebook pages, we tried to get other people to think differently about skateboarders. We kind of dominate Mondays with Earl Abrams over here from the movement. We started partnering with different organizations to change people or to lobby and change people's perceptions, and that got us into the door. And we've been working for the past 2.5 years about changing this Bible. One simple Bible. It's being rewritten, and that's going to change the Bible that says that we no longer a nuisance and we'll be welcome on the streets again. Yeah. So, and that will obviously spill over to infrastructure, facilities, into enforcement, so, and then also changing people's perceptions and how they embrace skaters in public space, in public streets, in public art. So, a few more months.
Sure. That's awesome. Yes, thank you.
I just want to know, why is it illegal?
Was it illegal? Or was
Yeah,
it?
because it's not dangerous, not killing anyone.
It's prejudice, man. I'm not prejudice. Yeah, it's prejudice. Sorry. It's how people perceive you.
They don't like it.
They don't like it. So it's the people that write policy, control policy, people that write bylaws have no understanding of skateboarding. So they wrote it from the perspective that they sat in their homes and they perceive the skateboarder to be a deviant, a nuisance, and perceive that person to be that, right? And then they apply their prejudice on this and wrote legislation to it. Right? Yeah, I always make, this is actually wrong. No, it's not. I always make comparisons because I'm South African. I make comparisons a lot. Because they didn't like black people, they made legislation.
Yeah.
Get home pass, you know? Yeah, it's a bit of an extreme, but I mean, it's just kind of people understand.
Like, how do you guys, I mean, because I was in skateboarding for like a few decades, how, you know, like I know how people perceive us. So what do you guys do to kind of change people's perception of it? You know, because it's one thing to change legislation, but another thing to change perception.
So it's a twofold strategy about what the National Skate Collective is doing, right? It's about educating people about who they are as skaters. So not to be dictated by industry or by people's perceptions. So one of the things is that my mother used to tell me, you are a deviant and you're not a kid and you're trying to be white. Right? And we're told that we're deviants. Right? So one of the things that we try to do is try to change the way skaters see themselves and as time for information. So we share information about skateboarding, their rights, what are your rights under the rules? Can a cop take your board and confiscate? Are they entitled to do that kind of stuff? And by educating that person, it allows him to see. So one of the kind of things that kind of led me to understand who I am as a skater was my studies planning. Right? And there was this big hoopla about non-motorized transport users. Right? And they categorize non-motorized transport users as cyclists, pedestrians, animal-drawn vehicles, right? And they excluded skateboarders, right? And everything that then listed about what a non-motorized transport user is, vehicle is, applied specifically to a skateboard. So I then saw my activity or my passion is no longer just being an activity, it was now a form of transport. So I actually saw it as my form of transport, and therefore I was entitled to use the road, use the pavement. And understanding public space and who are the users in public space forced me to challenge what is public space and who is public. Why was the skater excluded from public? So by informing people and changing and kind of just passing on information, is that you challenging a skater's perception of himself. You know?
Are you guys working with kids from the township?
So the collective is it's not just me. So the collective was set up as a vehicle to kind of deal with authorities and just kind of create a platform for people to do things. But we support different initiatives. So we support guys like Nebula and Africa Skate. We work with loads of different people that are doing things in townships. And we support them. We try to give them access to information. Actually, as a skater, one of the things is it's also just not about a corporate CSC. Yeah. CSI, yeah. So you know you do all these like things, you go to the black townships and you give skateboards and cool, you know, you get points for it.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We actually one of the amazing things about skateboarding, and it's taught me as well, is that it's inherent in skateboarders to pass it on.
Yeah.
So it's not what you're giving to skateboarding, it's what skateboarding is giving to you, right? And you have this constant feeling that you owe it back to skateboarding. So if it's giving you freedom, you need to share this thing, right? So this is what we try to get across to skaters. And so whether there's funding or whether there's a formal structure, there's a website or not, skaters are constantly passing it on to the next someone wants to use. I offered you some skateboarding lessons because I want to show you freedom, what it means to be a skater.
Show my knees.
Smart.
Besides actually skating and being part of the National Skate Collective, how do you immerse yourself into, because skateboarding is a whole culture.
Yeah.
How do you immerse yourself into the culture besides just actually riding out and roaming in the streets?
How do you immerse, and how do you personally immerse, yes, thank you. Immerse yourself, just get yourself more in there, live the culture, be a part of it, share it with other people.
Yeah.
Because you're speaking about what skateboarding is giving back to you more than what you're giving into skateboarding. So how do you further put yourself into the culture and make it like a part of who you are and a part of your lifestyle?
I feel like skateboarding is such a big part. I see it differently. I see everything in skateboarding. So I walk inside Boston Society and I look for pants and stitch, and I look for Vans. So it's in everything. It's in what I wear.
Skinny jeans.
Well, it's not skinny jeans. But it's in what I wear. It's in the music I listen to. It's in the places I go to. It's how I experience space, the stairs, the roads. It's a massive part of me. Right? One of the things about the National Skate Collective thing has challenged me was to remain relevant and skate every day, which is a difficult thing. Sometimes you get stuck in boardrooms and whatever, you kind of taken away from skateboarding, but the idea is to remain relevant. For me, the most relevant group of people in skateboarding right now was this group that I've been working with called Pretty Skate, Pretty Skate Crew. And it's this group of kids out in the Cape Flats, and they from 10 years old to 25 years old, and they immersed into every aspect of skateboarding. So for me to understand what their needs are and kind of advocate for their needs, I need to stay relevant to them. So yeah, I suppose I'm engaged in the culture. I'm very much engaged.
Do you see like in the region that skateboarding become with someone like a way of getting around the city? Just as much as common as a bicycle?
I do.
Like a energy saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the, I'm always advocating it. It's about, it's the best way to experience the city. And for me, it's unrevised. It's the best way to experience the city. Right? I'm a planner and I work in transport, and I know the challenges of parking your car, paying for petrol. I know the challenges of jumping on a train, jumping on a taxi. I know the challenges of being in the road with cars that pass you very close by. So I spent a lot of time dealing with cycling and advocacy groups, as well as disability advocacy groups, and understanding how they experience the city. And by understanding how they experience the city, you kind of see these synergies or kind of common needs. Yeah? Especially someone being in a wheelchair and experiencing the 2 centimeters of experience when we move over to the next pavement. And skateboarders experiencing that as well. Right? So by changing the legislation, right, it forces the city to build more of those beam lanes that we're doing with these things. It forces them to lower the pavement so that we can move a bit smoother. It changes the infrastructure, it changes the facilities. And then by doing that, by providing spaces, there are skaters everywhere. Once the city opens its arms, it's yes.
You say you built town then. How do you balance work and the skate collective?
Not really well these days. No, but yeah. So I work in provincial government. I've been dealing with policy development. Right? It's a bit difficult, but I think that skateboarding informs what I do a lot of ways. So some of the stuff that I've actually developed is the non-motorized transport strategy for the Western Cape. So I worked with a couple of also policy developers and developing that. I developed the national non-motorized transport strategy. And then recently I developed the Western Cape infrastructure framework in my professional capacity. But one of the things I constantly draw on is that user and making sure that when we do provide facilities, infrastructure, is that we consider all users. So not many people consider skateboarders as users. We kind of get stuck when we say we're becoming an inclusive city, then we go, okay, there's bicycle lanes, brilliant, you know? And we forget about everybody else, the old lady that jumps into a taxi, the guy in crutches, you know, it's all those are all users. So being someone that's not counted in the city forces me as a policy developer to challenge myself to count every user and their needs and how and negotiate how those users use space.
Thank you. Lastly, do you have any highlights in actually some of the initiatives that you've created personally when it comes to skateboarding, and also just making sure that there's access for just non-moto road users?
Yeah, actually, a couple of years ago, myself and all everyone sitting over here and stuff like, and a friend Andre Bird started up an initiative called Promenade Mondays on Seagull Promenade. What used to be an illegal space to skate on, we decided to create an event to activate that space and challenge people's perceptions. I grew up in Sea Point and Greenpoint area, and it's an extremely conservative community. That anything new and different scared the shit out of them. So by introducing skateboarding, an opportunity to introduce skateboarding, we jumped at it to challenge those people's perceptions, activate that space. One of the amazing things about this event that's been teaching me over the past couple of years is that there was a need for these kind of events that became more inclusive. So it wasn't these X Games, Ultimate X kind of events where you're standing and watching these guys jump into the air. It wasn't something that you went to go and race down and kind of fear. It actually created, it was an event that created an opportunity for people to jump on the board, whether you were old, young, black, white, whatever, right? And it also showed me how people were dying to connect with each other. So a lot of skaters are feared skating next to Kings in the farm.
Yeah.
You know? He's the great king, you know? I wouldn't jump on my board next to him because I feared it, you know? So by creating these kind of events, you would create a platform where everyone was equal. So we all moved slowly. We didn't pop the biggest of tricks, we didn't do the best of slides, but we kind of found a common space for everyone to kind of access. So this has been, for me, Promenade Mondays has been amazing. We've done stuff like infecting the city, done escape to Diamond Square. We've done so much stuff, design corridor, world design capital stuff. There's loads of projects that kind of challenge people's perceptions. So to see skateboarding as a form of expression as art was one, and then as of recently we launched this thing called South African Skateboarding Federation, which is getting the sport recognized. So it's not illegal, it's not recognized sport, there's no facilities, and so we're launching a global campaign to get skateboarding recognized into the Olympics, and kind of create like a platform for skaters, that 10-year-old kid or your brother, for something, if they would like to be an athlete, pursue that sporting career, there's a platform to do that, and there's support mechanisms to do that as well.
Thank you, Marco. One last question.
Hi. With regards to getting young kids into skating, big up on doing all that. Isn't there the challenge of a loss of identity, considering the majority of these skateboarding brands are American? So it could end up little kids turning away from their identity from America due to like brand promises and the whole billionaire industry trying to get people to live that lifestyle.
So one of the things we try to do is try to celebrate skateboarding as the activity and not necessarily giving it the identity and power to bigger brands. I'm using an example of Kent again, who makes these boards, designs, handcrafts, these boards kind of thing. So it's a local board, it's a local skater. So we celebrate our locals kind of thing, and we celebrate them as South African personalities, South African identities. Kids in skateboarding in South Africa look up to who they can see. It's an amazing thing. So as much as I look up to Tony Hawk, I do look up to Kent, and I look up to guys like Moses Adams, singing Papa Trick, you know, and that's what kids are doing. Their heroes are their local heroes, and their local heroes are forcing them to celebrate their own identity. So groups like 20 Skate, which is a positive flip on the gang between mates, right? Which is celebrating Cape Flats culture and Cape Flats identity, right? But using skateboarding to do that. To say that I don't need to go give cool, whatever, hang 10, whatever, if I skate, right? Yeah.
What's a professional skateboarder and who plays it?
Sure. What's a professional skateboarder?
And how do you get paid?
Yeah, there we go. Someone gets paid to skate. If it's your career.
Who pays you, though?
So a lot of what's happened, right? Because so there's lots of we had people, we have bands now. A lot of what's happened because governments didn't embrace skateboarding as an official sport, right? And the demand was there. Industry took up that gap. Right? So industry.
What industry?
Industry is your brands, fans, skateboarding companies, I'm looking for different brands here. Red Bull, Monster, X Games, World Skateboarding Federation, KBC, all those big industry guys have taken up the role as custodians of skateboarding. And they are dictating who is in skateboarding and even the competition level. So it isn't a very regulated sport activity, and becoming pro is